Hey, so back to safety and travel. I did the video about cultural stuff. I did the video about how I pick where I'm going and why. And then I just wanted to double back on the Philippines, minus that little distraction video that got thrown in there. And then wrap this up and move into my current travel plans, my current adventures. And I got a bunch of little clips I'm going to try and put together so they're somewhat coherent. But I am out on the road having a great time. And let's talk about, I want to talk about the Philippines being safe. In general, overall, I think the Philippines is a great place to go, especially for a first trip. You're going to learn a lot. There's a lot to learn any trip, any place you go. But the Philippines is different enough that for most Americans that it's going to be kind of an eye opener. And you need to, up your haggling skills. You need to up your awareness, things like that, and also relax. Right? It's a very relaxed place and slow down. It's not the go 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 that some popular tourist places can be. So somebody did a video a while back and said the number one danger to you when you travel to the Philippines is yourself, and I totally agree with that. I think the number one danger, in the Philippines to a foreign tourist is yourself. The second would be the mundane things, the food, where you walk, all that mundane stuff. The world doesn't have flat level services like America. They don't have an ADA running around suing everybody into poverty to make the world perfect. They don't bubble wrap shit. You are responsible for your own personal safety, and I've been shooting clips for a couple of years of just some crazy scenarios. One of them was in Budapest, and it was like the total sobriety test because you walk around the corner and there's just no ground there. It just drops away into stairs. And it's in an area with a lot of nightlife. So, if you're drunk and stumbling around, you're going to miss that step and go tumbling, 2 or 3 stairs onto rock, onto hard rock. So it was funny to me because, like, what a great sobriety test, right? Can you walk the streets of Budapest in the party zone area? So, beyond all that, the other real great threat to you, besides yourself, besides the mundane infrastructure, food, and things that are common everywhere in the world, the Philippines has an elevated risk when it comes to other expats, other tourists, other foreigners. I can't think of any place in the world I've been where it even comes close to comparing the number of negative interactions I've had with foreigners in the Philippines. Mostly Americans and Brits, but not 100%. Not 100%. And even like the YouTubers, you have to worry about the YouTubers. They get this arrogant idea that they know better or they have friends or this or that. And Philly in the Philippines, is obviously, I have an issue with him, but he's also the only YouTuber I've seen go online and brag about threatening violence against Ace and trying to coax some people into fighting Ace. I haven't seen any other YouTubers do that. There was that guy, Every Man Has a Story, and he was talking about eye gouging this guy over some shit. They busted out, there was a sucker punch thrown, and at the coffee shop, and he's talking about how he wanted to eye gouge this guy and was about to, in a parking lot over some BS talked online. These aren't even real issues in the real world. These guys just have too much time on their hands and nowhere to go, and they build this story in their mind that they're some great being and they're some tough guy, and a trip to Eastern Europe would be really good because it would humble the shit out of them. They wouldn't walk down the street like they're the top dog, because nobody's the top dog in Eastern Europe. There are some literal giants. I mean, I used to be 6 foot. I think I'm down to like 5'9.5" now. And there's guys there, I'm like looking like this and like, hey, okay, I can reach your shoulder, and just some massive guys. And everybody I met over there was super nice. But again, I don't go out of my way to meet mean, rude people. So I don't know. I don't know if they're all as nice as the people I met. But my point is when you go to the Philippines, you're going to meet some great people. But the real threat to you is other foreigners and expats. You know, people that can't control their alcohol, they get away with it more there than anywhere else. I mean, if you saw some of the behavior that happens in the Philippine bars in other parts of the world, you know, that person wouldn't be getting up. There was just a video in Thailand where I forgot who it was. It may have been, I don't know. I don't know what nationality it was, but there were like 3 guys and they're drunk in one of the bars, and I guess one of them pissed off some of the locals, or you know, did something he shouldn't have. So it all kind of boils out into the street when the video starts, and this one guy they're just going after, and they are literally, you know, they didn't crush his skull, but he was on the ground. They're kicking him in the head. You know, those are injuries you don't want. But you know, hard to say what happened. I'm not going to say he deserved it, but you got to kind of put yourself in that situation to get treated that way, right? So don't put yourself in that situation. But if you're going to go to the Philippines and you're going to go to areas that aren't on the, you know, safe to travel areas, you better learn the culture. You better learn the risks, you know, and that's true in every country. Philippines is not unique in that regard in any way, shape, or form, right? Not unique in that regard in any way, shape, or form. There are parts of California right now that are major no-go areas. They're being controlled by the cartel. There's some great videos on it about north central, like the border up there by Oregon. And you know, you be careful. That's all I got to say. Be careful. When the sheriff is like, yeah, I don't go out there. You're like, wait a second, you're the cop. You're the sheriff. You don't go out there? So there are areas like that in every country. But my experience is, the most of the times in the Philippines, you know, you're going to have problems with local expats, and foreigners. And just, you know, the laws are interesting. So last thing here before I wrap this up, World Zoom, I'm not a big fan of the guy, whatever, but go watch his video, because he talks, and I think I mentioned this in the last one, but he talks about how he ended up in a detention center, and it cost him a bunch of money and time to get out of there. It was horrible conditions, not nearly as horrible as the jails from what I understand, but he ended up there because some chucklehead expat sent a fake wanted poster to the government, and then the government swooped him up. Based on that, then they contact America. America's like, no, we don't want him. But that's the level of playing field in the Philippines, right? You've got these guys, oh, well, and they're so passive aggressive and they're so weak and sublime. They won't address you straight to your face. They'll try and backdoor you. They'll try and, you know, do some nefarious bullshit and not just deal with the issue like a man or an adult even. You know, they're going to try and trick people. They're going to try and lie. They're going to try and coax people to cause you harm, and that makes them feel better. Oh, I defended myself because I got that guy thrown in jail. Really? That's the only threat. 99% of the people that go to the Philippines, you know, if you're a YouTuber, you know, you're probably at the greatest risk because you're a threat to these guys. You're a threat to these guys. You have a voice, so all those people sending them super chats and stuff might stop. So that's your threat. They don't want the super chat money to stop, the subscriptions to stop, right? So they may do something, you know, and they've proven it. They will. World Zoom also talked about another guy who, you know, had charges brought on him. And it happens in Thailand too, right? There was an article that was great about, you know, don't leave a review in Thailand. If you tell the truth about a bad experience, a hotel or something in Thailand, that can wind you up in jail too. So again, it's not the Philippines. It's not the Philippines specific. It's just where a lot of this conversation happens. But know those things before you go, right? Spend some time. You know, what are the common things that, and, you know, put you in jail? You know, in Japan, you need to carry your passport. I was reminded of it when I was here last year, and you know, you need to carry your passport. A lot of countries you don't have to have it. You know, the hotel is okay, ID is okay, but in Japan, you want your passport. But that's what I got. That'll wrap up this whole safety thing, and then pretty soon I'll tell you where I've been, what I'm doing, and where I'm going. And I got a bunch of little, I don't know if episodic's the right word, but little isolated clips about things I'm doing and seeing, because I enjoy sharing those. Some of those things are great, and I want to get better at sharing those little tidbits of my life. You know, and hopefully some of y'all will get a passport and get out here, and we'll meet and have coffee somewhere. Take care.